In life, discipline is not only about following rules, it is about knowing when to resist temptation, even when no one is watching. Every person faces moments where curiosity whispers in their ear, urging them to take a step they know they should not. Sometimes the true test of character is not in the big challenges, but in the quiet, hidden choices we make when no one will ever know. Today's story is about a servant, a locked room, and the lesson that temptation, once given into, can change everything. In a bustling town known for its markets and trade, there lived a wealthy merchant named Elias. He was respected by all, for he had built his fortune with honesty and hard work. His home was the grandest in the village, filled with goods from faraway lands, golden ornaments and beautiful fabrics. But Elias was not just rich in wealth, he was also rich in wisdom, and he believed that true strength was shown not by power or possessions, but by discipline. Working for Elias was a young servant named Thomas. Thomas was loyal and diligent, but he was also very curious. From the day he entered the merchant's house, he noticed a door at the end of a long corridor. It was locked, unlike the other rooms. Every time Thomas passed by, his eyes lingered on the lock, and questions filled his mind. What could be inside? Why was this room different from the rest? One evening, Elias called Thomas to his study. He handed him a heavy ring of keys and said, "Thomas, I trust you. From now on, you will manage my household. These keys open every room in this house, except one." Elias held up a single key that was not on the ring. "This key opens the locked room at the end of the corridor. That door must never be opened. Do you understand?" Thomas nodded quickly. "Yes, master. I will never open it." Elias smiled. "Discipline, Thomas, is not about me watching over you. It is about you watching over yourself. Remember that." From that day, Thomas moved through the house with a new sense of responsibility. He cleaned, organized, and cared for every room. Yet every time he walked past the locked door, his curiosity grew stronger. What was Elias hiding? Was it gold, jewels, or treasures greater than anything Thomas had seen? His mind played tricks on him. At first, he brushed the thoughts away, but over time, the locked door seemed to call to him. Weeks passed, and the temptation became heavier. Why should one room be forbidden, Thomas wondered, when every other door is open to me? At night, when the house grew silent and the merchant was asleep, Thomas would walk to the end of the corridor and run his fingers along the doorframe. He even bent down to peek through the keyhole, but the darkness inside revealed nothing. Months passed, and Thomas's thoughts became restless. He began to imagine chests of gold, rare jewels, or secret treasures that Elias wanted for himself. "If I just look once," Thomas whispered to himself one night, "no one will know. It will be my secret. I won't touch anything. I only want to see." Temptation, when entertained too long, becomes almost impossible to resist. And so, one fateful night, while Elias was away on a trip, Thomas stood before the locked door with the master's ring of keys in his trembling hand. His heart pounded in his chest. "Just one look," he told himself, "and then I will close it forever." He tried key after key, but none fit. At last, he found one that slid into the lock. With a click, the door creaked open. Slowly, Thomas pushed it wide and stepped inside. To his shock, the room was empty. No gold, no jewels, no treasures. Only a plain wooden chair sat in the center, and on the chair lay a folded piece of paper. Confused, Thomas picked it up. Written in neat handwriting were the words, "Curiosity is the first step toward betrayal. Discipline is the guardian of trust. You opened what should not be opened." Thomas froze. His throat went dry. At that moment, Elias stepped into the room. He had returned earlier than expected and had followed quietly behind. His eyes were filled with sorrow, not anger. "Thomas," Elias said softly, "I trusted you. The room was never about what was inside. It was about what was inside you. I wanted to see if you could resist temptation, but you could not." Thomas dropped to his knees, tears streaming down his face. "Master, forgive me. I could not control my thoughts. My curiosity was too strong." Elias sighed deeply. "You are not the first to fail this test, and you will not be the last. But understand this. When a man cannot control his curiosity or his desires, he becomes dangerous not only to others, but also to himself. One small act of weakness can destroy years of trust." From that day forward, Thomas was no longer allowed to manage the household. He remained a servant, but the special trust Elias once had in him was gone. And every time Thomas walked past the locked door, it reminded him of what he had lost. Not riches, but trust, which was far more valuable. This story teaches us that discipline is not about what others see, but about what we choose when no one is watching. Temptation may look small, even harmless, but once we give in, it can take away opportunities, respect, and trust that took years to build. So the next time you face a locked door in your life, a temptation, a forbidden shortcut, or an easy way out, remember Thomas, remember that real strength is not in opening every door, but in having the courage to leave some doors closed. Because in life it is not curiosity that builds a future, but discipline. And the one who can master himself is greater than the one who conquers cities. Stay patient, stay disciplined, and guard your thought. For the choices you make in silence will one day speak loudly about the kind of person you are.